Hey there kids, welcome back. David E on here, and as promised, there is the Mondo exclusive Faker. And the box has already been split open here, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling this apart while I'm talking. Just got it on Friday actually, and on the roundup this weekend I had said, yeah, I'm going to pull this out and do a review on it on Monday. So here we are Monday, and here's the review. I have the other two in the series that have already been released. That's the He-Man and the Skeletor, and I was impressed with those, and so I've been continuing to get the Mondo figures. Go ahead and take this bag off. And they're 1/6 scale figures. I like them. Some people don't. I do. Mondo, of course, always known for their artwork. They do a lot of vinyl records and posters, and that's what they're most known for. They don't do action figures very often, but this is their original box designs, and of course that is Snake Mountain. And it's pretty much the same box that the Skeletor had. That's the sleeve to the box. Came in pretty decent condition this time. The outer box, the shipping box, is beat up pretty good. It's got a lot of dings and scuffs and dents in it, but it held up better because I've got on my other figures the box did receive some damage. And there's the Faker artwork, which has a very 70s kind of feel to it, but I like it. I like what they did with the artwork here. I like the 70s kind of look to it. It's too bad I don't quite have the space to display the box with the figure. And then of course you've got a sort of colorless variant, or all in blue scale. Faker, the evil robot of Skeletor. Well, not exactly, because according to the comics he was originally Duncan's robot. And Duncan wasn't happy with him, and mine is in backwards. Look at that. That's the back of the packaging showing through instead of the front of the packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and take that apart here in a minute. See, it says it right there actually. Originally built by Man-at-Arms to cover for He-Man when Prince Adam is needed, Faker was abandoned after his first mission in the Royal Junkyard and salvaged by the evil warrior Triclops. And that is how the original storyline goes, that Duncan manufactured Faker and then wasn't satisfied with him and said, ah, screw him, and threw him in the trash. So Triclops found him and fixed him up, and then Skeletor just kind of took over from there. This is the way it should have been in the package. Very nice. And essentially it's a recasting of the He-Man mold, of course, with some variations. Like you see, he's wearing Skeletor's baldric, and he has Skeletor's sword instead of He-Man's sword. Let's lift up that other tray and look underneath. A lot of accessories with this. He's got the rifle, but not the pistol. And he does not have the shorter sword either that came with the He-Man. So he has fewer accessories than He-Man. This one is the exclusive version now. And the exclusive version comes with the torn open face. And that's the one you buy directly from Mondo. If you get this from anywhere else, if you got it from Sideshow or Entertainment Earth or whoever, you don't get that head. You only get that head if you order directly from Mondo. So what I'm going to do is cut away here for a second and go ahead and open him up and stand him up, and we'll take a look at his accessories and his articulation.
I will make another He-Man, an evil one called Faker. I have done it! A perfect likeness of He-Man. Sometimes my power even amazes me.
And here we are back with our Mondo 1/6 scale Faker out of the package with all of his accessories. laid out. And of course, you know, everybody's excited because they're like, oh wow, finally they're doing 6th scale figures of the classic Masters of the Universe, because that hadn't really been done before, but they kind of were. If you recall these, which is the Matty Club 6th scale mock-ups of the original Masters of the Universe figures. So it looks like a 12-inch version of the old 5.5-inch version classic 80s Mattel figures. But I don't think that's quite what people were looking for when they wanted a 6th scale figure, although these are kind of popular. This is more like what they were looking for, this 12-inch Faker. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of his accessories here. He comes with a bunch of stuff. As always, you've got his battle axe, the sheath for his sword with the 2 clips here, because they do turn and they hook into the back of the baldric. The shield, which is actually pretty solid. This is a thick piece. The laser rifle, done in different colors from the one that the He-Man came with. And this is solid too. This is not rubber. A sword that looks like Skeletor's sword in different colors. There's a lot of detail on all of this. Two additional sets of hands, and I like the way they do the hands with these, because you can see that it's got a big joint and a large plug, and that they're actually attached to the hands instead of being a between piece on the wrist. So unlike with, say, Hot Toys, where it's a teeny tiny little plug, and when you pull it off it comes out the wrong way, and then you got to jam it out, and often they end up broken. I've heard a lot of people complain. See the detail, he's got like fingernails and ridges in his knuckles and veins on the back of his hands, that they can be very easily broken, and these are not going to break that easily. So you get a pair of gripping hands, actually 2 pairs of gripping hands, because these are more like trigger finger hands, because he does have the rifle. The Mondo exclusive damaged Faker head, which I like this. And then a classic Mattel looking head, if you want to go that way. And of course he comes with a figure stand, and it's one of those ball hugger stands that goes up between his legs. And I don't really like those kind of stands, to be honest. I know a lot of people like them because it's less obvious than a traditional doll stand per se, but these don't tend to hold up very well, and in particular the Mondo stands, they don't do good. They the way that they're connected, they don't lock in at all, and the weight of the figure can drag it to the left or the right, and then the whole thing goes over. And I've had one too many times that I've had to pick up my other Mondo figures because they toppled over during the night. So let's get a good look at Faker here. And in a moment I'll take him off and test his articulation, although I am sure his articulation is going to be pretty much exactly the same as the other 2 figures. He is a solid piece. These are not light. They are heavy, and they are mixed media. This is like fur on his boots, and his loincloth is like the simulated leather. The gauntlets do come off. When you pull the hand out, you can remove the gauntlet. The baldric does not seem to come off. I've looked at this and I can't see a way personally to remove this baldric. This is one thing that I didn't like either, was the exposed ridge line in the jointing on the back. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, it would be nice to be able to remove his baldric, because he does have the chest sticker, or in this case it's not a sticker, it looks like like it was a rub-on. You know what I mean? Not so much a sticker, but like, you see how it's kind of glossy? I think you know what I'm talking about. And I'd like to get a good look at it, but the baldric doesn't come off. Unless you remove his arms at the shoulder, and I really don't want to mess with him like that. I'd prefer not to pull the arms out of his shoulder. Or at the shoulder joint. But again, I do enjoy these. I was excited to see Mondo with them, because they've been going around to the conventions for a couple of years and showing off the prototypes, but they never released the figures. Let's go ahead and start with his articulation here. They never released the figures. Good tilt, up and down, side to side, and rotation. And these come off fairly easily. Pops right off. And I can put another head on. I'll put on the classic looking head. Faker head. But they teased with these for a long time. And then finally started releasing them. Next in the series is supposed to be the Merman, which I've already pre-ordered. So I will be doing a review of that when it comes. Fairly decent arm and shoulder rotation. Well, single joint in the elbow. It looks like it's double jointed, but it's not. And it's got a pivot at the bicep too, which is good. Wrist rotation. And you see what I mean about, you can see that under there, and it looks like there's a lot of good detail to it, but you can't really access it. You can't get this off. Even if you lift his arms up, this doesn't really come out over his arms. Like I said, you would probably have to pull the arm out of the socket. I don't want to do it. Although I have had, like, in one of the reviews, I think it was the Skeletor, his leg popped out at the knee, and it pops right back in, because it's just big plugs. Limited torso forward and backward, despite the fact that there's like a big gap there. Seems kind of limited side to side too. Turns at the torso. He does have this skirt, the belt and the loincloth there. And you should be able to remove these. And underneath he does have the classic fur underwear with belt. So if you wanted to go that way, old school, with that head, you can do it. And then thick ball jointing in there too. So if you pop a hip out, you can go back in. Kind of limited forward and backwards though on these. That's not bad though. Double jointed at the knee. And if it sounds like I'm torturing the figure, it creaks a lot because I'm like right up close to the camera now. So the microphone's picking up a lot of it. Weird articulation, very weird articulation at the ankle, and I've talked about that before, that just, you know, you twist the ankle and it looks like he broke his foot. It doesn't look right at all, the way that the ankle articulation kind of works there. After Merman is released, next is supposed to be, let me change out one of these hands and I'll show you. See, slides right out, and I'll put another hand in. Is supposed to be Man-at-Arms and then Hordak. See, and the new plug goes right in. Good rotation on the jointing and good wrist turn. See that? And as I pointed out, these gauntlets, they do come out. Well, Man-at-Arms is supposed to be next, and then Hordak. But I'm a little nervous now that those two might not get released, because Mattel, with the new film coming out, has been reeling in their licenses. They've already taken away licensing from Funko and from Super 7. Although both of them deny it, neither of them are producing Masters of the Universe anymore, are they? Think about it. Well, let's go ahead and bring him to his rightful spot in the museum and set him up and take a look at him posed.
You must get the sorceress to leave Grayskull. Outside the castle, her magic is weaker, and I can overpower her. In this dim light, she'll think you're a He-Man. Call her, Faker.
Yes, Master. Sorceress.
And now we are down in the museum, and we have got Faker in his rightful place, right next to Skeletor there. And as I have pointed out, you can see that a lot of his accessories are identical to He-Man's. There's the shield. There's He-Man's shield. And there is the other head. This is the one that came with He-Man. And of course, here's the one that came with Faker. It's the same thing. If you compare Faker to He-Man, you're pretty much looking at the same figure, except that he's blue and red and orange. He's got the same blaster rifle that He-Man has. See, there's his rifle, and then there's He-Man's rifle. They're essentially the same weapon, just different colors. He-Man's axe, and then Faker's axe. Same thing, just different colors. Overall, I like it. I like the He-Man. I'm looking forward to getting the Merman, and I will be reviewing the Merman when it comes. See, he has Skeletor's sword exactly, and I put it in an opposite direction than the other two. I've got him on the Mondo stand right now, but I will change it out, because like I said, if I had any complaint, primarily it would be that stand. And you see that the other two figures are not on the Mondo stands. They're on traditional doll stands with the waist clamp. As I pointed out, I got sick and tired of picking them up every day. One or both of them was laying on the shelf, or even had fallen all the way to the floor there, because the stand just wouldn't hold up. Really hoping that Mondo is able to come through with doing the Man-at-Arms. I've seen the prototype for it. And the Hordak, that Mattel doesn't reel their licensing in. I know that sounds really mean of Mattel, pulling the licenses or finding reasons to pull the license on Funko and Super 7 and Loyal Subjects, but also it's good business. I mean, that's just good business, and quite frankly, Mattel is sort of known for being ruthless when it comes to that sort of thing. The movie's going to be coming out, and they want to take advantage of their licensing. If anybody's going to make money off the toys, it's going to be them. Let's see. Put the Faker head right next to He-Man there. It's pretty much the exact same thing. It's the same mold. And of course, all three of them, it's the same body mold. You can tell. But I've got spaces reserved. See, I've kept some shelf space open here for Merman, Man-at-Arms, and hopefully eventually Hordak. And the Hordak was really impressive. People were saying that it's probably one of the best renditions of Hordak that they've seen. But I like the Mondo figures. I always go with the exclusive, because if you buy the exclusive figure directly from Mondo, as opposed to, like I was saying earlier, as opposed to going to Sideshow or, you know, Big Bad Toy Store or whoever sells them, Entertainment Earth, you can get an exclusive version. And so that's how come I have the robot head. And I've chosen to put the damaged robot head on the Faker here. And some people don't like these. They're like, oh, it's not the He-Man that I remember. None of it's the He-Man you remember. None of it. And some people like things and some people don't, and it is what it is. I happen to like them. So what do you think of them? What do you think of the new Mondo Faker? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. I would have liked to have been able to get that baldric off to get a better look. I just don't want to pull his shoulders out. Although I'm pretty sure they're just plugs. I didn't want to tear the shoulders out. Because you never know. You don't want to be too rough. I mean, these are pretty durable figures. They are solid. But I don't want to be too rough on them. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you like this series? Is this something that you're interested in? Have you seen the Duncan or the Hordak that they have scheduled to come out? Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. Hope you enjoyed checking out Faker. Share the video if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Find us on Instagram. Open by Chance on Instagram. And check out some of our other videos. We do a lot more than just figure reviews here, as you can well imagine, because this place is packed. This is our museum room. And it goes back quite a ways. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.
He-Man, He-Man.
You're not He-Man, you're Faker.
Faker has all the power.
Oh yeah, watch this power. Only He-Man has all the power in the universe.
Faker, He-Man, and Skeletor from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately from Mattel.